Hey, how's it going? My name's Riley, and this video is going to be part of a larger series of videos where I break down large topics into small bite-sized videos. And today's topic is going to be going over Google AdWords. And Google AdWords is fantastic because you can run ads specifically to people searching for a specific keyword. And to give you an example, if you were a window cleaning business, you could run ads to people that were specifically looking for a keyword that related to your service. So, as an example, you could run an ad to people searching in window cleaning in Allen, Texas, or window cleaning in insert your city. You can run ads to people who are actively searching for a solution like yours, which means they're probably in a mindset to make a buying decision at that point in time. So you're not having to invest all of this time and money into retargeting. But I am going to talk about retargeting in this video because it is still important, because there are other factors that may cause someone not to make a buying decision the very first time. But regardless, just like any other advertising platform, there are things you need to know before you ever start spending money on a certain advertising platform. And on this one, you need to know the keywords that you will be targeting. Too many people go into any type of advertising platform expecting to just go completely broad, just spray every type of keyword that they can think of. And it's incredibly important that for Google AdWords, you don't do that. Google AdWords is way more expensive than Facebook ads, which I talked about last week, where if you do go broad and you don't focus in on narrow keywords, you're going to end up spending a fortune. And as a small business, that just can't happen. It'll blow your budget out of the water if done incorrectly. So, what I'd recommend here in the beginning, you specifically target narrow keywords. And Google has some settings in there where, as you're setting up your campaign, you can choose between a narrow match search term or a broad match search term. And what I'm talking about is the narrow match search term. A narrow match search term is what you're telling Google to not expand on the keyword that you typed in, whereas a broad match is you're telling Google to expand. You're telling Google to, okay, based on this keyword, go find other keywords that relate but don't necessarily or aren't exactly the same keyword. Whereas a narrow match is you're telling Google, okay, only focus on this. I don't want to go show my ad on other search terms as well. That way, if you focus on the narrow, you're not spending a fortune where your ad is showing up in all different places other than the keyword then that you typed in. So here in the beginning, focus on the narrow and really pick out a keyword that you think you can do well on. So in this case, if you were a window cleaner, you could focus on window cleaning in Allen, Texas, which I'm just using Allen, Texas because that's where I'm based out of. But you could insert your city there as well. And if those search terms are too small, you can also add other search terms as well. Just remember to keep them narrow so you're not ranking for other keywords as well. And it's always okay to add more keywords. Just remember you don't want to go too broad where you're going to end up spending a ton of money in all different places which you can't afford. So one thing I do want to mention before I move on to the next thing is that as you're writing your ad copy, it's important to visualize what the ad actually looks like. And it's not like Facebook where you have a pretty little image to go along with your ad. Your ad will look like just a generic Google search result. And it's going to show up on the Google search results page. The only difference is you're going to show up near the top. So if you kind of visualize what a Google search result looks like, you have that blue title tag and then you have a little bit of a description underneath it. In that title tag, you need to directly reference the keyword that you're ranking for. So, continuing with the example, if I were to run an ad for window cleaning in Allen, Texas, I would directly reference window cleaning in Allen, Texas in my title. That way, I am reaffirming to the reader or the visitor that this result directly talks about what you are searching for, so you get more people clicking on the ad rather than skipping it and looking for a new result that directly talks about the question that they're wanting answered. So with that said, once you start getting people clicking on your ad, you want to make sure that you direct them to the right page. And too many people just direct the person who clicks on their ad to their home page or to their services page or maybe even to their about page. But here in the beginning, or really at all, I would not recommend doing that. When someone clicks on your ad, they want to be taken to the page that directly talks about the question that they're looking for. If they get taken to a page where they have to navigate 15 different pages just to find the page that answers their question, they're not going to stick around that long. Chances are, if they landed on a page that doesn't talk about the question they wanted answered, they're going to back out just as fast as they clicked on your ad. And that's going to raise your prices on Google, because Google keeps track of, okay, how many people are bouncing out of the website really quickly. And if too many people do that, they're going to raise your prices and they're not going to show your ad as much to the people that should be seeing your ad. So just keep in mind, you really should be creating custom landing pages for your ads. And this sounds daunting because not everybody has the time to create landing pages for each individual ad they run. And it's okay to reuse landing pages, but you just never want to run an ad to your home page that talks about a whole bunch of different stuff rather than the one narrow thing that you're trying to get someone to make a decision on, whether it be a window cleaning in Allen, Texas, gutter cleaning, whatever it is. You want to talk about that specific keyword on your landing page. And once you've got that kind of nailed down, you need to make sure that you are talking about that keyword on your landing page as well. Don't just mention it in your ad, talk about it on your landing page. So at the very top of your landing page, directly mention that keyword. That way you've told them, okay, my search result is about your keyword. And then once they click on that, reaffirm to them, yes, you are on the right place. We are going to talk about the question you wanted answered. So just make sure that you're comforting the reader, letting them know that this is the right place for you to be to get your question answered. So just remember that when you're creating your landing page. And also, before I move on to the next step here, or the next tip, I'm going to leave some links down below to web page builders or landing page builders, so you don't have to learn the code. You can just start doing a drag and drop builder to build these custom landing pages out so that you don't have to worry about the big hassle of hiring a web developer or whatever it is you do to get a landing page built. I'm just going to leave some links to web page builders. Anyway, moving on to the call to action. This is probably one of the more important tips here when it comes to creating a Google advertising campaign. When it comes to people going from your ad to your landing page, you need to think of yourself as kind of like a Google Maps, but instead of directing someone down the street, you're directing someone through the flow of your landing page. When someone lands on your landing page, chances are they're probably going to read the headline and they're going to skim through your main text on your landing page. And then if they're interested, they're going to look at the next thing they need to do. If you don't provide that next thing, if you don't tell them what to do next, they're going to get confused, they're going to get frustrated, and they're going to back out and go find someone else, potentially a competitor, that tells them what to do next. So when it comes to creating a landing page, don't spend all of this time creating a pretty landing page that looks good, that talks about all the information that they want, and forget about the most important thing, the call to action. That's what tells them what to do next. That's what ties the bow on this entire thing to really get you that conversion. You're not going to convert if you don't tell them what to do. So establish a goal. What are you wanting the reader to do after they finish reading your landing page? Is it a free quote? Is it booking a service? Is it getting on a call with you? What is it? And then you need to create a button, possibly multiple times on your web page or your landing page, to give them an action to complete so that you get the goal, or you get that goal accomplished without them having to guess, okay, what do I do next? Do I go find their quote form? Do I go call them? Whatever it is, you need to give them a clear, aligned goal so that they can complete that without all the extra confusion. So moving on to finally retargeting. This is also another really important thing. And near the beginning, I was saying more people are probably likely to make a buying decision the first time they land on your landing page using Google versus Facebook, but it is still very important to have retargeting set up. And this is kind of a daunting thing to most people. They don't want to have to go through the process of installing a snippet of code on their website so that Google and Facebook can track the users and see what users are actually expressing interest, and then they insert them into an audience. Don't get totally stressed out about this. They make this fairly easy so that you can just install the code and they do all the work so that you can run the ad later on. So when it comes to this, too many people assume that if someone doesn't make a buying decision the very first time they land on their landing page, they're saying, I'm not interested, and that is most likely not the case the majority of the time. Most people just get busy. Most people get distracted and need to go do something else. So when it comes to really setting up a retargeting ad and ensuring that your ad performs the way you want it to, you need to make sure that you're tracking and seeing, okay, what people are really expressing interest, and then how can I put them in some ecosystem where I continue pushing content to them, to continue building trust, to continue really just pushing content so that later on when they are ready to use your services, they trust you and they are ready to use your services because they've seen your business a number of times. Now, I do want to mention, and I've mentioned this in last week's video as well, trust is becoming a very important thing when it comes to the buying decision of a consumer, more so even than the price, though you can't jack up your prices and expect trust to get your consumers or customers to follow you to that price up there. But it does allow some flexibility in your pricing. But just to say that trust is incredibly important, and by creating a retargeting ad, without you knowing it or not, you are establishing trust if you're posting informative content, tips and tricks. You could even be publishing content that is trying to sell them on a new product or service. All of this is really building trust because they're seeing your business more and more. You're just not this one-time act that they've seen you once and they never see you again. So when it comes to running a successful Google AdWords campaign, it's important to really lock down these 4 tips. And of course, there are more. I'm really just scraping the surface here when it comes to setting up your ad. I'm not going over step by step how you create an ad or anything like that. If you do want to see something like that, leave a comment down below. Let me know. I'd be happy to do something like that. But really, these are just the basics to really get you started and comfortable when it comes to establishing a Google AdWords campaign and really writing an ad. So that's about it. If you have any questions, please leave them down in the comments below. I'd love to help you guys out to get those answered and hopefully provide helpful content in the future. Also, those links that I said would be down in the description, those will be there. If you're interested, don't forget to go check those out. Also, if you like the video, if you want to see more like this, if you want to see existing content like this, don't forget to like and subscribe. It lets me know that you like this video, that you like content like this, that I should continue posting things like this. And if you don't want to miss next week's content, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so that you don't miss it. Anyway, that's about it. I hope to talk to you in the next video. See ya.